So integration can mean many different things in the context of software and technology. And we get asked this question all the time from many different types of clients and just different people. And I like to define it as this. The integration can be thought of as a way to tie two solutions together that can help you accomplish your goals faster, deliver more value, save time, reduce error. It's not necessarily about the technical aspects of how to do this and that, like what API or what SDK or whatever. It's more about how can I make it effortlessly work with my day-to-day tasks as a marketer or as a technologist. Yeah, there are a lot of common challenges that companies face when they go to implement an integration. And I think the first one that we see the most is maybe lack of understanding of how integrations need to work at scale. So integrations are simple when you have maybe one page or one item or 10 or 100 even. But say you have a website that needs 20,000 product detail pages. And how are you going to pull that from a PIM or a DAM? And you may test it, it may work great, it may run really fast with a small amount of items. But the minute you get into volume, you get the real production data that starts flowing through your systems, and delivering the web page suddenly is slow because you didn't necessarily think about, should it be a real-time integration? Should it be a batch job at night? How much data is coming when? How long do these things take? That's all really important and something that not everybody thinks about at the beginning. So if you can start thinking about how is this going to work at scale, and how can we do it to where it's maintainable and we can rerun it and we can test it efficiently at load, that's usually a good place to start, and a lot of people forget about that. Using a tool like Kentico helps overcoming a challenge with integration because there's a couple sets of guidelines that, again, even in the planning stages, you can reference in the documentation. You can see examples of how Xperience by Kentico has automatic integrations with other solutions like Algolia Search, like Azure AI Search, things that are really core to your website. They're integrated really well, clear examples, lots of things you can use to see how it's done. And then you can take that framework, you can use that as a best practice when you need to integrate it with your systems and your solutions. And it's nice to have that starting point that you can kind of be comfortable that, yes, we're doing this to best practices. So that's a tough one. I think my personal favorite integration that Xperience by Kentico comes with is probably Azure AI Search. It's a tool I've been using for a long time, and it's amazing that it already has this kind of out-of-the-box integration that makes it easy to index your site, keep search results up to date. I actually was able to do it on my personal blog in under 4 hours from nothing. So the first time it came out, I was able to implement it, get it running, and deliver search results at a speed that was frankly remarkable. And I'm actually really happy that those results can even leverage the new AI capabilities like semantic search, like using generative large language model processing of natural language to really understand the context of search and let them find that content even easier on your Kentico site. If you're new to integrations and you're not sure like what is this API thing, or what's in the box versus what's out of the box, there's a lot. Technology moves fast. There's a lot of things that change over time. So if you can leverage any internal resources on your own staff, on the technology team, that's great. If you do need more help, there's definitely ways to reach out to the customer success teams at Kentico because they're able to kind of guide you in the right way. There's also documentation for how to get started in these things that does a pretty good job of explaining out of the box versus in the box integrations. Know that there are always options too. Maybe the in the box integration doesn't do exactly everything you need, but there are APIs to add to it. And maybe you can combine a couple different methodologies of integration into one solution that works for you. And it's just sometimes knowing which tool to use in the right situation is more important than maybe even understanding, does this API come in the box or out the box? I think one of the newer integrations that comes just in the box with Kentico that I really appreciated was the recently released Google Tag Manager handler that comes in the software. Before, we would have a challenge once in a while where the right tag manager script may be included in a production environment and then it gets replicated back to a development or test environment, and suddenly we're tracking analytics in the wrong way, or we're mismatching our tags and our analytics and views, and something just isn't right. And the marketers are like, why are my analytics not working right? Well, the new completely out-of-the-box integration with Google Tag Manager kind of takes that pain away, because it's more just inherent in the way you can kind of set up your Xperience by Kentico solution, use the out-of-the-box integration, throw in the right setting, and you're kind of done. You don't have to worry about maybe mishandling it like you did in the past. Yeah, I think without proper integration, things can go wrong quickly in a digital solution. The platform can have many problems, right? Suddenly, your duplicate entry of your content into 3 different places, you're creating errors, or things are broken and you're providing a bad customer experience because it's not just this all-in-one solution that's a really elegant way of doing things. So really do recommend having integration wherever possible, and thinking of how does that integration solve some pain points for you internally, or how does it make your customer experience just that much better on your website that's powered by Kentico.